Live from tape, pre-recorded at our studios in Austin, Texas and Portland, Oregon, it's Syndicated with Leslie and Ben. Hi folks, I'm the Ben of that.
And I'm the Leslie. This is a podcast about television, genre, and storytelling in which we watch an episode of a show and explore the history of television one episode at a time.
If you're just now joining us, we're talking about 9 Puzzles, the 2025 Korean mystery thriller about 2 criminal profilers, one of whom is a murder suspect herself, attempting to solve a series of serial killings in which mysterious puzzle pieces are being left behind at the scene of the crime. 9 Puzzles was produced by that's the one I should have looked up. 9 Puzzles was produced by Kakao Entertainment and Moonlight Films, directed by Yoon Dong-hoon. The show only just finished airing on Disney+, the network that it first premiered on, and was released in segments in May and June of this year. Not to already be like, hey, that's odd. But hey, that's odd. I was kind of surprised. I did a little bit of deep diving in my research. Seems like this really is a Disney Plus production. Like, as opposed to, we've covered so many that are like
Netflix bought from like Channel 1 or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, Antenna 3 or the BBC or
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Then, like, Netflix and Hulu bought the rights or whatever. Every single piece of like material around this, posters, Wikipedia articles, specific Korean language like soaps, wiki platform that I found, everything just says this is a Hulu series.
Yeah, definitely.
Or Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Which again, just contradictory to all the other shows we've covered where it's been bought in and redistributed for American audiences. I just kind of find it funny that, like, Disney.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I mean, we've found over the course of the season that it's not uncommon, obviously, but for whatever reason, while it makes sense for me for like Netflix and what have you, Disney investing in like foreign language media just feels so weird, because that feels so not just even American centric, but so their own intellectual property centric.
Right.
Which happens to be American. And like Fox, obviously. It just kind of struck me as odd that this appears to be just a Disney Plus original.
That is.
It's because there's blood, I think, is what's throwing me
Yeah,
off.
but Disney does that kind of stuff all the time.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. It just alarmed me to see it promoted like that. Alarmed. Like I'll survive.
You're shocked, aghast. Your pearls
really
are clutched.
Mm-hmm.
Your vapors are gotten.
I don't know how to reconcile this with the Disney Plus brand that I've come to know and love over the last like 5-ish years. The same streaming channel that has Alien 2, that's right, Aliens, and Skinamarink on it.
Amazing.
The fact that Skinamarink is just available on Disney Plus cracks me up no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, that's not for kids. Don't click that one.
After a 10-year time jump, Yoon is a competent but aloof and weird criminal profiler. Her career choice and attitude are clearly affected by the gruesome event that she witnessed and the subsequent police interrogation. Kim first appeared in a 2017 film called Project with the same name and subsequently starred in The Witch Part 1, The Subversion, a horror action film.
Looks rad from what I saw. I watched the trailer.
That's dope. You know, Ben, if I were a better podcaster, I would have watched the trailer. And then we would have something to discuss right now.
Oh, well.
But instead we're discussing that I didn't do that, so.
I mean, it wasn't required. I don't think it's necessary. I put those little details in there for fun. No one actually has to know what the fuck we're talking about.
I know that. But a good podcaster.
Sun Suk-koo plays Kim Han-sem, the aforementioned criminal profiler initially assigned to Yoon's case. This is one of Kim's first cases and one that will clearly haunt him for a while. Despite the time that's passed since the murder case in 2013, Kim is no closer to an answer as to who killed Yoon's uncle and dedicates his off-the-clock time to investigating it further. Sun has appeared in Season 2 of Sense8 and was featured in the Korean adaptions of both Designated Survivor and Suits. Leslie, I'm telling you right now that there's a Korean adaptation of Designated Survivor and Suits.
That's amazing. That we may have to check that out.
I mean, honestly, I'm game.
I mean, you know what's great? You know what I think I should do? I've never seen the American Suits.
I was just about to say, I've got no familiarity. All I know is that it spawned royalty.
Right.
And that law firm, right?
Yes. I don't know.
Law firm workplace drama?
Oh, that's why it's called Suits, like lawsuits.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe?
What was that, A&E? Oh, USA Network. I have those in my brain in the same bucket. Yeah. It takes place at a law firm. I didn't make that detail up. Set in a fictional New York City corporate law firm, the series follows Mike Ross, a college dropout with a photographic memory, as he works as an associate for a successful and charismatic attorney.
I don't want to know a lot about it, though, Ben, because I want to go into the Korean one.
Without knowing shit.
Yeah,
without knowing shit.
Yeah.
I know more about Designated Survivor, which is what if Kiefer Sutherland became the president on accident.
What?
Would you like to know the plot of Designated Survivor, the American television show?
Yeah, I don't know what this show is.
Oh my God. I don't know why I do. I've never seen an episode of it, but the premise is that the entire cabinet of the president is in one spot when a disaster strikes. And so Kiefer Sutherland, who I think is like the Secretary of Agriculture, is the designated survivor, your sober, what's the phrase? A designated driver or whatever. Your the sober friend just gets instantly rocketed up the line of succession for the presidency because the president, VP, Speaker of the House, etc. Are all dead. So the joke is that he's like just the Secretary of Ag, and then all of a sudden he's in the most powerful position in the world.
That's awesome.
And it's Kiefer Sutherland.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, doesn't it? Anyway, there's a Korean version too.
It just gets better and better.
I'm pretty sure I have that right. Honestly, I remember getting goofed on at the time. Yeah, there we go, 2016. I see. He is not the Secretary of Ag. He is the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. So, comparable title though.
Sure.
I remember getting kind of clowned on at the time, but I do actually kind of think that's an interesting premise.
Yeah, no, that's really dope. I'm not ashamed to say it.
And then there's a whole, he has to like deal with obviously the crisis of a very sudden regime change.
Yeah.
And also figuring out like, oh, well, who bombed I don't know. I
Yeah.
literally don't know, but who bombed the Capitol building where they were all there
hanging out,
or whatever. Literally, it's like the Situation Room gets like rocked or whatever.
Yeah.
So everyone else just disappears. Cal Penn's in it. I'm seeing right now, as the White House communications director.
Well, no, Cal Penn was the White House communications director.
He was a staff member. Of
Like
the Obama administration.
No, that was what he did. I think IRL for Obama.
He was on the team. I don't believe he was specifically the communications director.
I don't know exactly. All I know is that he was there, and that's why he had to kill himself on House.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I just started nodding along.
So
it took
they
a second for what you said.
Well, so they didn't know what to do with his character because apparently, like, Cal Penn was like, "Sorry, I gotta go, like, right now, because
the president needs me." How often are you gonna say that?
Like, literally. And so he's like, "Bye." And so they were like, "Well, I don't know what to do." And so they just had House find him in his apartment, dead of a gunshot, no bleed up, no nothing.
In early 2009, Penn was offered the position of Associate Director of the White House Office of Public Engagement and Intergovernmental Affairs, which he accepted. This necessitated his character Lawrence Kuttner being written out of the show House. In his new role with the Obama administration... Oh, okay, we're moving on, I see.
Yeah. Enough about that. But yeah, but if you want to Google it, you can Google, like, it's along the lines of... I just cut this whole thing out because I don't even know what I was trying to say there. Continue. My turn.
Oh, no, I think it's interesting. I'm leaving it in.
Oh, okay.
In his new role with the Obama administration, Penn served as a liaison with the Asian American and Pacific Islander communities. He went back to using his birth name, Kalpen Modi.
How about
Penn
it?
publicly supported Bernie Sanders for the 2016 Democratic nomination. Hell yeah, King.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Anyway, maybe we should watch Designated Survivor sometime. It kind of sounds like it rules.
It kind of sounds like it rules, man.
I think it's cool that, like, in addition to, obviously we have immense amounts of cultural exchange with East Asia. You don't need me to tell you that.
Right.
But I think it's cool that in addition to what I sometimes roll my eyes at, what we do is we take, like, whatever, East Asian or Scandinavian shows and we just make them in English again.
Right.
Look no further than The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. An already existent movie that we just thought, what if that was in English, though?
Yeah.
I do actually think it's cool that Korea is just like, Suits. We're just going to make that in Korean. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's really dope.
Or I think we previously, I don't remember if it came up in an episode that we covered or I just stumbled across it in my research. But there's just like, there's just like a Hindi The Office. Just Office in India.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's cool. Just like,
why not?
Put in more like, cultural jokes for the country you're putting it in.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Scranton, PA. It can be whatever the fifth most populous town in the whatever, semi-rural state in India applies.
Right.
I honestly, I think that's cool.
I've got to say, I've never thought about it one way or the other, but I think that that's really cool, actually. And I think that it's interesting that society tends to look down on, like, remakes, that are in foreign languages. Because that doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
They're just trying to do their own thing.
Exactly. I think my stance in my brain is, Americans need to experience more culture versus, that's cool that they made it for their culture.
Right.
I understand it's a double standard that I have, but, like, it's a double standard. I don't care. What are you going to do? Arrest me?
What are you, the cops?
What are you, the hot take cops? No, I mean, I like it when Americans that's the point of the season, is us stepping out of our bubble to review some Spanish language and Scandinavian and East Asian shows or whatever. But then on the flip side, I'm like, yeah, go ahead and make Designated Survivor in Korean. Why not?
Yeah.
Maybe it's because they've had to just consume our media in English for so long or whatever that I feel like, well, turnabout's fair play. Go ahead and make your own. That's just the concept, but in that language.
Yeah.
Whereas you suggest a foreign film to an American and they have a panic attack. Not us, though. We're cultured.
Yeah, we're cultured. Our two principal cast members are accompanied by an additional cast featuring members of both Kim and Yoon's separate police departments. Yoon has a team of middle-aged detectives appropriate to his 10 years on the force, and Kim works with a number of young upstart detectives and profilers in the Metropolitan Department downtown.
Last but not least, we covered the first episode of 9 Puzzles, just entitled Episode 1. Yoon Dong-hoon, a superintendent police officer, is found dead on the floor of his home by his niece, Yoon E-na, with an owl jammed into the back of his neck. Police interrogate Yoon E-na, but due to a lack of evidence and Yoon's disappearing memory, are unable to satisfactorily close the case. One clue is left fully unexplained, a singular black and white puzzle piece found on the scene of the crime. 10 years in the future, Yoon, now criminal profiler herself, solves a murder involving a similarly amnesiac child. Just as the case is cracked, Yoon receives an envelope containing a black and white illustrated puzzle piece. The episode ends with Yoon frantically reaching out to Kim by phone.
Yeah.
Leslie.
Yeah.
This is your suggestion.
Oh, yeah, it was.
I don't think we have a full, like, why this, because neither of us had seen this prior to us watching it for the show, but it was hot and fresh on Hulu, because apparently it is a Disney Plus original. So we just decided to wing it and just go for it.
Yeah.
This is obviously the first Korean show that we have covered. Although that's it. This is obviously this is the first Korean show that we have covered. This is not the first murder show we've covered. Obviously, our previous season was literally just crime, and obviously we covered some detective stuff earlier in the season. Folks, incidentally, there was talk of a Wallander episode. We unfortunately lost some audio from that. So pretend it's a lost episode, unfortunately. Pretend we talked at length about the Scandinavian TV show Wallander.
It was great.
Did. You don't have to pretend, but the pretend part is you heard it.
Is that you heard it.
Which you didn't.
You know,
Sorry about that. We lost some audio. My bad.
You know, why do we even talk to each other if no one's going to hear it?
Because we're friends.
Because we're friends.
You're right. We should just text each other. But yeah, we decided hey, you know what? We decided to take a stab in the dark and watch 9 puzzles.
Hey yo.
I loved this.
Oh my god, it's got everything. I love this so much. It's got everything. It's mysterious. It's a little bit gritty. It's pretty funny. The characters are so well rounded. The aesthetic is great. The mystery is good. The relationship between Yoon E-na and Kim Han-sam is incredible. I love their relationship, like in present day.
Yeah, me too. Oh, hey, you know what? Present day. That gives us an opportunity to talk about this. I was not expecting a time jump.
Yeah, me neither.
The beginning half of this show, which for the listeners' benefit, although you should watch this if you have access to it.
Definitely.
The beginning of this show is real. Lots of rain and craggly trees and like empty 2 large houses.
Yeah.
And whatnot. It's very lots of people scanning flashlights over rooms of possible evidence. It's very like atmospheric, dialogue light, I would say. There's not like a ton of spoken dialogue. There's just like a lot of like kind of knowing looks and whatnot. That eats up about the first like 8 or so minutes of the episode, and then like fully 10 years later, and we are I don't want to say we're in a different show because I don't always like that analysis, but like there's definitely a real mood swing in the opposite direction, and it gets a little more, I don't want to say lighthearted, but a little more energetic in places.
Yeah, energetic is a good word I would use. Yeah.
It's hardly lighthearted. People are still getting stabbed in the neck.
But although it kind of is a little bit.
It kind of is. Yeah. Anyway, it has a different energy, and I really was not expecting. I wasn't expecting that swing, I guess.
Well, I think it's neat.
As do I. Yeah, that the beginning feels very maybe not a direct comparison because it isn't like Appalachia Northeast in the
Appalachia. Appalachia.
Right, but what's the adjective?
Oh, Appalachian. But you said Appalachian.
Oh, okay. Oh, my bad. I thought the pronunciation changed for the adjective.
No.
Appalachian then.
Yeah, it doesn't. Sorry for the confusion.
No, fair enough. I'm not fucking from there.
I am.
Yeah, fair enough. I guess you are. Yeah. What the fuck was that?
What was you saying?
Well, because it's not Appalachian in the autumn or whatever, but it feels kind of Silence of the Lambsy a little bit, just like the grittier approach. The suspect was found dead, etc. Flashlights. God, what could this mean? Compiling my notes. That type of like more realistic approach to a mystery. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the way Thomas Harris writes mystery stories is not realistic in the slightest, but for whatever reason, I think of those books as more grounded. As if a man doesn't eat a painting in the first one.
Right.
But like, you know what I mean? It feels more
so down to earth, so grounded. It
feels a little more, I don't know, procedural or whatever. But then it takes on this different energy in which it's like injected with a kind of broader cast of characters. Like I said, there's the larger cast of like both detectives on each end, but specifically the kind of the younger detectives that Yoon works with. And yeah, it genuinely feels like it has a different DNA at like the 1/3 mark of the show, which,
Yeah.
I think is great. But I still wasn't expecting that. I was expecting this kind of like softer, grittier, more contemplative thing throughout. Pleasant surprise, but wow.
I fully agree. I fully agree. Yes, Ben, everything that you just said is fantastic. I'm such a good podcaster. It's good. It's good, Ben.
I know this about you.
It's good, Ben. No, I definitely feel the same way. I really think you touched on something when you said it had a different energy, and I know that at the time you were saying that after the opening, after the time jump, it had a different energy from before. But I think that in general, this show just has a different kind of energy to anything else I've ever really seen.
Oh, sure.
It's got, like I said, I'm puzzled, but at the same time, I'm amused. The feelings that it evokes are very subtle feelings. Like I'm not, like out of my chair laughing, but I am very amused to think that what they're doing is very clever. I'm not absolutely horrified by all the gore, but I am disturbed that, by the creepiness of it. It makes me feel a cacophony of subtle emotions. And I think that it is such a good show for that reason.
Maybe that's why I'm mentally connecting it to like Manhunter and Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, I think so.
Obviously those are horror movies, right? But fear is not the emotion I associate with those movies, but it is discomfort and like dis-ease, and like unsettling feelings. There's a creep factor there, which definitely felt like there was in this as well. That it's horror, but it's not like, scary.
Right.
For the listener at home, I did the psycho gesture.
But it is it's also, it transcends psychological horror. Like there is like actual gore. Like this is kind of like Hannibal in that way, I guess.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's why it feels like Silence.
Yeah, there we go.
Because it feels like the prestige format NBC TV series based off of Silence of the Lambs.
There we go. There we go.
But yeah, I don't know. A lot of detectives standing in rain-slicked coats, and can you remember anything about the gruesome death you just saw and all that jazz? We were fighting over the inheritance, but I didn't think anything would come of it. That kind of talk.
I didn't. I know I said I was gonna kill her, but I didn't mean it. I was in the middle of a fight.
Right. Maybe I just want to rewatch Silence of the Lambs. I could do that tonight.
You could if you wanted to.
Also, I do like the kind of almost dialogue-less approach. I mean, people do talk in the 2013, but they're kind of few and far between. There is a lot of like contemplative dialogue-less scenes. I'm thinking specifically, it's when let me check my notes here. Yoon E-na looks down at her shoes that stepped in the blood. When she's like in the interrogation room, I think right before the profiler or the other cop like steps in.
Yeah.
And it's just like a static shot of her just kind of like looking down at her sneakers. Unstated why, but like pretty clear, just stepped in the blood of her uncle who was just recently murdered. Yeah. No one comments on it. No one's commented on it yet anyway. We only watched the first episode. But you can like kind of see whether she's just completely dissociated and kind of dealing with the horror, or the cogs are turning in her head and she's piecing stuff together. Mm-hmm. It's not like clear to us yet.
Yeah.
But like just the fact that the camera like takes a moment to like really focus in on that, I really appreciated.
Yeah.
And similarly when Kim is going through the uncle's like studio for the first time and sees all the various paintings, again, this is the flashlight scanning across the room kind of thing, and focuses in on, there's like another like artist all stuffed into one of like the mini like jars of pens and whatnot. And again, someone says it later, someone underlines that through dialogue later on, but like we can figure it out. That's the same handle as the one that's sticking out of that other guy's neck.
Yep.
And again, maybe this is stated like what, 2-3 minutes later or whatever, but even so, there's just like a moment of like, oh, the weapon.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good show. This is a good show.
Which I think maybe by not jamming it into his neck, jamming it into the script, that like adds to that sense of dis-ease and like discomfort or whatever. Like we're picking up on these implications that are going unstated.
Yeah.
And that just means we have to process that like fully internally instead of being told that through dialogue. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I get what you mean.
It allows us to string together things.
I think that what I like about watching media in a foreign language is the fact that it really compels me to pay attention to the screen at all times.
Absolutely.
Because I don't understand the dialogue. So I think that it's great because it allows me to notice things like that. And I think that is what makes shows like this so compelling to me, is that they do put in the time in those little details, and they're things that I can appreciate and notice more often than not.
Yeah. Subtitles go a long way here. Really, like in terms of like forcing you to focus in. And I want to focus in. I have made attempts. Are they successful attempts? I don't know. But I've made attempts this year to like try to repair my like attention span a little bit.
Uh-huh.
This may shock the listener at home, but I'm neurodivergent.
No.
No, I got the attention deficit disorder. But even so, even if I did not have that, we live in a mobile phone based society, and whatever attention problems I had when I was 8 have only gotten worse in the last 20 plus years, thanks to the ready availability of a little box in my hand that makes beep and boop noises.
Yeah, and then occasionally gives you dopamine in exchange.
It sure does. Sometimes my friends text me and I go, yippee. But like I've made attempts to like, no, I'm leaving my phone upstairs. I'm gonna sit down. I'm just gonna watch the movie. I'm gonna watch the movie with my eyeballs looking forward.
Right.
And God, what a struggle here. So, take this with a grain of salt, but like, it's hard.
It's hard. It's so hard.
It is a little hard or whatever.
Hard.
And God, all those apps that for a while, like TV was being promoted with like, enjoy the Game of Thrones second screen experience or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like, to the point where like even the publishers of these various like visual medias did not even want you looking at the screen necessarily.
Right. Which is, I mean,
kind of undermining.
Well, I mean, that's why now they just make everything too dark to see.
Exactly. Oh my God. But I've been making attempts to repair my attention span a little bit and kind of forcing myself to like lock in to one degree or another.
Yeah.
Again, whether that's just willpower or leaving my phone upstairs or whatever.
Sure.
But like subtitles just kind of do that automatically in that I don't have the same struggle of forcing myself to pay attention. I have to pay attention or I will literally not know what is happening because I do not speak Korean, Spanish, Hindi, Swedish, what have you. I am entirely reliant on looking at the screen.
Right, me too.
Is this maybe a weird thing to admit on our TV review podcast that I have troubles focusing on visual media? Maybe.
Well, we're millennials.
We're millennials. What can we do? We're millennials. No, we don't remember when that happened on screen.
Oh boy.
Anyway, I hard not to think of the Bong Joon-ho Oscar speech where he's like, if you get over the 1-inch barrier of subtitles, it opens up a world of cinema to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was right.
That's why, but Ben, that's why I really like knitting while watching television. It actually,
I got to take up the equivalent.
Yeah, because if you're knitting a pattern that you barely look at it.
I got to start whittling or something.
So that you can like do something with your hands while you're watching the screen.
The problem is my thing for that, my like tactile thing for watching something is unfortunately it's Lego builds or various model kits, which means I'm constantly looking down at an instruction booklet, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which means that is like anti-conducive to to zooming in and paying attention or whatever. Which is why last time I had a Lego model to put together, I just watched all of the original Planet of the Apes movies back to back. I know what happens in those films. I don't need to. I don't need to focus in that much.
Right?
Get your hands off me, you damn dirty ape.
Yeah. Yeah, you know.
I got it. Anyway, back to the show itself, I guess.
Yeah, back to the show.
So what did we think about the second half? The obviously we agree that it has a different energy, but like our supporting cast, our bungee jumping hobbies.
You know, I just really enjoy the way that they are telling the story of who E-na is. The way that she, you know, has the therapist. Oh man, the relationship between she and her therapist, that scene was really, really entertaining.
It's nice to see something that is like, it's nice to see like that they have a kind of like positive rapport between the two of them. You know, the therapist seems a little fed up with some of Yoon E-na's antics, but like they're friendly, clearly. And it doesn't make therapy look as I don't know. I feel like there's plenty of counterexamples in which like it's a kind of imposing, it's adversarial, it's someone has secrets that they're trying to keep hidden. You know, you feel like you're going in for your annual review or whatever. But it's nice that they just kind of have like a little, you're always like this. Anyway, back to your case.
Right.
Kind of like, you know, there's some history there. I think that did a good job of like establishing some back and forth between the two of them.
I thought so too.
And it's not like confrontational or antagonistic or overwhelming.
Yeah.
As it very much could be. I mean, look, to go back to Hannibal comparisons or psychosexual.
I tell you what.
Think about that, Will.
I tell you what, those two men.
Yeah, they had a fun dynamic. I liked. I also like her and her coworkers that just like, she's got this memorization ability, right? You know, every detective show needs a quirk to it and whatnot. But that she, you know, has like this really strong memory that in spite of her like amnesiac like lapse in memory the night her uncle died, but that she remembers everyone's like coffee orders. That
what floor everybody works
in and out
on.
with these cases. Yeah. Everyone's floor. She like pushes all the buttons in the elevator and turns around to someone. It's like, now you're on the floor 14 now, right? Or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. She really like started to stand out as a character. Obviously, she's largely silent in that first one, or in the first half of the show because she's traumatized. But it was nice to see more of the personality that's coming.
Yeah.
And also get a pretty clear look at what their dynamic is going to be, which is the older, kind of more straight-laced one, and the younger, off-the-cuff, more experimental one.
I really wasn't expecting for us to get to know this character from just from the beginning alone. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that she was going to be a dynamic, like one of the main the main character. You know, I didn't think she was going to be that. It's really cool to see. It's really cool to have seen her in the context of what happened to her first. You know, because so much of the time when you the way that you tell a story and you say, okay, as a kid, because if you boil it down, it's like as a kid, this detective, you know, witnessed her uncle's murder, and they tell you instead of showing. And so the device of showing us first and having us think that this is just going to be this is going to be the setting, this is going to be the show, this is going to be the character, and then to do a time jump and then show us who she is now, really fun. I thought that was really good.
Definitely. Yeah, there's no reason at the beginning of the show not to think that the entire thing is going to be set in 2013.
Yeah.
And actually, it's not really unless I missed a title card or anything like that. I don't think there was any indication that it was 2013 either.
There wasn't.
There was like a pretty modern looking like Samsung door lock.
Yeah.
But that could have been nature of that kind of technology is just that could have been from either 2025 or 2013 or whatever.
Sure.
And I certainly wouldn't have known the difference. It's not as obvious to me as like as seeing like a N64 versus a Switch. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just like, right, an electronic door lock, so I know we're post 2010 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no reason to think that's set in the past at all, or B, that it's going to never leave that area.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I think is so fun about it.
And yeah, we get you really could see that going the other way, where a character says like, "Oh, Yoon E-na, do you not know what happened?"
That's exactly what I was saying.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
About 10 years ago, way before she even joined the force, she found her uncle dead in her home. Really? Yeah, that's yada. And there could have just been spoken dialogue and like a flashback sequence, but like to get all the setup out of the way at the beginning and like really start threading that plot.
And to make us think, and to make us think, I think that what I love about this the most is that you have us thinking, okay, this is the story right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, okay, well, no, the story we're actually going to tell is this one. But you're thinking of it in present tense, a past event in present tense, so it makes it feel more real to you. I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, hey, she kind of says that or whatever. When she's interrogating the child in the present.
Oh, that's right. She said when he's lying, when he's lying, when he's making things up, he says that he's doing things that were in the past. He's using present tense for them because they're happening in his mind at that moment.
Yeah, that there is some kind of, in this show, it is definitely intentionally aware of and playing with like character perspective.
Yeah.
Because it takes a moment to analyze the way people talk when they are, I guess, living in memories or engaging in or making up new ones as she theorizes.
Right.
When she's trying to coax a confession out of what is a potential murder suspect. Which is smart. I mean, the fact that the show's like obviously aware of that, like that indicates it knows what it's doing here. And I assume at some point someone is going to be doing those exact same like language quirks, and that's how you know they're lying later in the show.
Yeah.
Which again, it's just, I guess, a testament to the fact that the show has really good setup.
Yeah.
I guess that's how you make a compelling thriller, is just kind of like, I mean, yeah, in general, that's how you make a compelling thriller, is knowing what to withhold and when and for how long.
Yep.
I obviously don't know when these things are going to cycle back into the story, because we've only watched the pilot. We literally don't know what happens next.
Oh man, I can't wait. There's more episodes out now. At the time, there was only just the one. Now there's two, I think. Yeah. Now there are two.
Oh, I think the whole show's out.
Really?
Yeah, it was released.
I
think it was released in chunks.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's becoming like a middle ground between.
I actually kind of like the chunks because like creatively they tend to do. Then you get like little mini, tinier, smaller cliffhangers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why I like the chunks. Our Flag Means Death did the chunks really well.
There we go. Yeah, that's becoming a little more common as like the middle ground between weekly releases and Netflix just putting it all out at once, is like segmenting it a little bit. Again, I think there were 3 distinct ones for this one. I think similarly, like Andor's second season had like, here's the first 2 episodes and then weekly or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
That just wrapped, so
right,
like a month ago. So that's top of mind right now. But anyway, I don't know how they're necessarily going to execute the individual plot points in this one, but that is how you do good thrillers, is just knowing what to withhold and when. And I think they have given us enough to latch onto, while also, I mean, literally, we don't know who killed her uncle.
Yeah.
And then B, who is sending these mysterious illustrated
puzzle pieces. Yeah.
There is some, even though we have these well-established characters, there is obviously some key gaps in the story, much like her memory.
Ooh.
But these key gaps in the story that obviously are going to be what we zero in on. Why is someone waiting 10 years to continue to pace out this mystery within the bounds of the story?
What happened here? Like what occurred?
Literally, what happened?
What happened here?
Talking about nature of foreign media and whatnot. It was a little refreshing, I must admit, to just be kind of faced with boring Korea. To see the equivalent of just like almost a generic metropolitan area that just happens to be in a different country.
Yeah.
With just like another country's like flags and like different, security gates and offices and whatnot. As opposed to, look, we get a lot of media or whatever that like it's set in East Asia and everything's like super like filtered and cyberpunky and whatnot.
Yeah.
Asia often gets painted as like, this is the future. Look at all the future tech and everything. And it was just kind of honestly a little comforting to just see like, here's normal, boring office job Korea.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. There was something comforting about just like, oh, no, you got weird coworkers in your elevator too.
You guys have a Keurig? We have a Keurig.
Yeah, really. Seeing the inside of their metropolitan police department, I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Again, everything is slightly the same, but slightly different at the same time. It's grounding, obviously, for the story that we're in.
Yeah.
Or hell, even the older detectives, including the rookie, who is also plenty old. Which I thought was a fun joke that guy was like, please stop calling me a rookie. I'm 40.
Yeah. I liked that a lot too.
Joking around about like the stock market and following that on like one of their like smartphones or just like the restaurant bar that we're in.
Yeah.
They look out to the city skyline and they're just like, this place has just changed so much. It's weird. Anyway, at least we still have our little bar. Again, just like a good way to ground everything kind of back to a shared reality. In the same way that like 30 Coins had that extended sequence where they were just like at the deli, just ordering meat while discussing the details of the case or whatever.
Oh yeah.
For 2,000 miles away, much farther from both of those locations. But it's just like, oh, haha, I do that. I work in a building like that. I'm always ordering meat like that.
It's the human condition, man.
It's the human condition that, I don't know, it's humanizing.
Yeah. It reminds me of those, of that trend in Japan on Halloween that they do, where they dress up as ordinary people in regular situations. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This was like TikTok popular for a minute, right?
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is fun. Yes, I do remember that. That is fun. What do we think is the deal with the puzzle pieces?
Man, I have got nothing. I've got nothing. But I loved the aesthetic at the end of like the puzzle pieces together with like the one that had been worn and then the new one. But
oh yeah.
It was really
cool.
cool.
Pick up on that.
Yeah. So it's, it's been 10 years. That's what I'm saying. What happened? Why are we picking back up? Why did somebody send her a second puzzle piece now? What happened?
We're both doing the Fred Willard bit, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. From fucking not Best in Show. Which one is it?
Waiting for Guffman.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am very curious. We don't normally like theorize ahead on plot. We just talk about the plot that we've already seen.
Right.
But I am curious, like, yeah, why would there possibly be a 10-year gap between Clue 1 and Clue 2, the two different puzzle pieces?
Well, Ben, I'll tell you one thing. If it doesn't get addressed, it feels like it's a hell of a plot hole.
Yeah, I'd say. But I mean, yeah, obviously the only like motivation that's in my brain is like if someone's like, God, I am really gonna psychologically mess with this kid in 10 years.
Right.
It's like, but it can't be just that. There has to be more.
Yeah.
It can't just be that they picked a random person out of the phone book and decided I'm gonna like break this person's brain.
Right.
There's got to be some
a connection. There's got to be a connection. I'll bet we'll find out what it is.
Maybe there isn't a 10-year gap, and maybe the other murders already happened, and they just haven't been picked up on yet.
No. Perhaps. That's a good theory.
Maybe episode 2 will be 10 years in the future. And we'll pick up the story in 2033.
That would be so. Oh my God, that would be so cool. How funny would it be if you just spent a really long time contemplating how great it is that it shows normal Korea, and then it goes 10 years in the future, and it looks like The Fifth Element.
They never solved my 7th, 8th, and 9th puzzle because they died, and also I died too. I shouldn't have spaced 10 years between each of these.
In retrospect, that might not have been the best idea.
On the deathbed, like, oh, I should write them and let them know what the plan was.
Oh, fuck. Oh, that was funny. Good stuff.
I should have planned this better.
I should have planned this better.
I thought ahead by starting with someone very young in hopes that they would last a long time, but I forgot I'm old.
I'm old. All right. God, so stupid.
No, I somehow don't. I think my first pitch that the murders have already happened is more likely, or just that there's 10 years between 1 and 2, but then a week between 2 and 3, and in fact there's 9. There's going to be 9 puzzles.
Yeah.
So we've been told.
Yeah.
Oh hey. Speaking of the puzzles, I guess themselves.
Yeah.
So in each of the 2 cases that we've seen so far, a relative has come home and found a member of their family, of which they are a relative, as just mentioned, has been stabbed to death. And they mysteriously do not have memories of the stabbing, I guess, of the incident. For Yoon E-na's situation, she very probably just flatly does not remember, period. In the situation of the second one, which it's like a older brother who is, for what it's worth, when I say older, like 10.
Right.
Who kills his younger brother, who is probably like 8 or something. That kid is lying about not remembering and whatnot. But either way, pretends or like retracts his statement and says like, oh, he doesn't remember. He just stumbled across the body or whatever. The puzzles are seemingly straightforward murders in which a principal suspect just doesn't remember things. But I will say I really appreciated the way that they did the abstraction of it. The way that Yoon E-na narrates the events that she assumes happens to the younger and older brother in the second case in the present. That it's just this kind of like black void in these like, they're not flashbacks because it's not her memory, but in these kind of abstracted like scenarios, which she's like theorizing is what happened, that they're just in like a completely like black void with some key props.
Yeah.
That like literally it's the door frame that they keep showing. I think that's cool because like, obviously I don't need to tell you this, no shit. There's so many detective murder shows. And obviously I don't even just mean like, you know, your Columbos and your Murder, She Wrotes. Like there's so many like, so many shows like this detective has a super brain, you know.
Yeah.
Sherlock. I'll just say Sherlock.
Yeah, just say Sherlock.
And they kind of each, just because there's so many, they kind of each have to pick a different way of doing it, of handling these like stylistic like flashbacks or showing you the scene of the crime.
Yeah.
Hell, we kind of saw a cool one in what is it, Death and Other Details, which we covered last season.
Yeah.
There was like that fake out with like the dollhouse and the various memories that why can I not remember celebrated actor Mandy Patinkin's name?
I was gonna say
that Mandy Patinkin was like, he had those like flashbacks where everything was like much darker colors and whatnot, because, you know, whatever, time and memory kind of like has dulled those and made them more dramatic in his head or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I really liked this kind of like abstracted like black box theater approach to the murders. I thought that was cool. I wonder if that's a trend that they're going to keep going with.
I certainly hope so, because he's Vito.
Yeah, I wonder in general what the connective tissue is going to be. What connects? Plenty of people just don't remember traumatic incidents that happened to them, but like what's the reasoning behind these cases and is the connecting thing the memory? Are these being orchestrated by some sort of like murder Moriarty?
That's a good question, Ben. I've got no idea.
Any closing thoughts?
I can't wait to watch the rest of this one, dude. I'm so
Yeah, me
excited.
too.
I'm so excited. Like, I love that I discovered that this one and Money Heist are both just so extremely my shit. The goal with doing this season was watching things that we just didn't have exposure to.
Yeah, and that wouldn't necessarily be on our radar.
And now I have found two. I mean, we've found multiple shows, but those two in particular, I know for a fact are going to become favorites.
Incidentally, about Money Heist, I was talking about the humanizing thing of like similar things across the world. I didn't get that with Money Heist.
No.
I think almost entirely because they are either in a bunker training for the Money Heist,
Right.
or they are in a like magnificently, presumably a century or two old, and also decked out with security like government building.
Right. Money Heist is a different vibe.
Yeah,
a different vibe.
but there wasn't anything that was like, other than them driving a car, or I guess later the fact that there was like a school field trip or whatever. There wasn't anything for me to like latch onto and be like, oh yeah, just like here.
Yeah.
Or just like in my world or whatever. Their world of like heightened gun violence and planning and money, literally, just felt more disconnected from me than, say, clocking in at your boring office job here, or
Right.
30 coins, or hell, even plenty of scenes in Los Spookies.
Yeah.
You know, Los Spookies literally just feels like it takes place in any suburb.
Yeah. It really does.
Whereas Money Heist very much felt like its, own world of that like huge grandiose building.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
I just think it's interesting what we connect to and what we don't, or what has like maybe more like a international connected appeal or whatever.
agreed.
Fun stuff. We'll report back on this one. I think Leslie and I are both hooked to.
Oh yeah,
we love a murder. We love a mystery.
we sure do. I'm definitely going to watch this one. I can't wait.
Folks, my name is Ben Hamlin. You can find me online at Sufficient Owls pretty much anywhere that matters. Mostly Blue Sky, though. You can follow my Tumblr if you want, but I don't know why you would.
I follow your Tumblr.
I
Hey,
stream every...
I like your Tumblr.
It's pretty fun. I also have my horror side blog, Haunted Owls, at tumblr.com.
Ooh, maybe I'll follow that one.
Oh, you should. Especially as I'm on my little gothic reading kick right now.
Yeah.
I imagine I'll be posting some like Universal Horror
Oh my
Monster
God,
stuff
I'm
on
gonna
there.
follow you.
Anyway, you can follow me there. I also stream every Tuesday at twitch.tv/Infinity Break Gaming. And of course, you can check out my horror podcast that I make with Maddie Trumpicums and Ezra K over at Parascience. InfinityBreak.net/Parascience. Leslie, where can people find you?
People can find me at Vanetti everywhere that matters, but mostly Blue Sky as well. You can follow my Tumblr is pretty rad. It's not as rad as having a Tumblr handle of haunted owls. Like, how did you get that?
Oh, well, that's the thing, is I just assume other people are not as into the birds owls as I am.
Well, it's still the internet.
I don't think people are jumping at the chance to name themselves after owls.
Fair enough.
Which I like a lot.
Fair enough.
I need to go to the zoo. I need to see the barn owls again. I miss them.
All right. That's where you can find me.
This show is, of course, brought to you by InfinityBreak.net, where we're telling stories our own way. You can check out all of our work over at InfinityBreak.net and Patreon.com/InfinityBreak. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time for another international TV program. Bye.
Bye.